Welcome to Natural Born Talents. Today's subject is the indigo aura. The indigo aura is one of the most fascinating auras out there. This aura is very rare. I've only met about 20 or so people who've had this aura of the thousands of people I've met. They have an amazing intellect, unlike any other aura that I've seen. They kind of seem to know everything and can study anything and are very tenacious if they have an interest in a subject. They often end up knowing more than the teacher. They are holistic thinkers, but also can think in logical linear patterns and do have some of the abilities of the lavender, as in being intuitive. Unlike the violet, who is also very intelligent, the indigo doesn't seem to have the same kind of ego. In fact, this particular aura is not as susceptible to ego as, say, the violet is. But because they have a strong will, they are often seen as being egotists. The truth is that they just prefer doing what they want to do, not what they're told to do. And they don't tell other people what to do like the violet soul does. They are more than willing to allow other people to make their own decisions. Because of their unusual personality, they are difficult for other people to be patient with at times, and sometimes vice versa. Therefore, this aura, though loves to have a good time and play, can withdraw if they feel like they're being put down too much. They're not insensitive to other people's needs. In fact, they're quite familiar with them. It's just that they like to distance themselves and not get involved in other people when they're making mistakes because they like them to figure it out themselves. They choose their partners very carefully. Sexuality really has no meaning to them. Bisexual, homosexual, it's all the same to them. They don't care. But when they do choose a partner, they'll choose one that instinctively understands who they are and don't judge them, don't try to control them, and don't belittle them because they're afraid of them. Because this aura is so strong-willed, other people have a very hard time understanding them. There's a lot of miscommunication between this aura and others. But with patience and understanding, they can be a lot of fun to be around, as this aura likes to play a lot too. In their early years, they have a lot of difficulty adjusting to the world at times. They don't sleep as well as other babies might. They might have allergic reactions, especially to things like milk or other milk products. They seem to be more alert as children than even many adults are. And because of this, they don't trust adults so much. They trust only cautiously. Some of the children that I've worked with personally, it took a long time to understand what I was there for. But once they did, we could communicate about anything, could play, could do pretty much whatever they wanted to. And that was the best way to teach them, is allow them enough space to study what they wanted to study. And they often figured out what was going on very, very quickly and could relax more. However, they will shut people out that they don't trust, especially people who are too authoritarian, too egotistical. Basically, they can see corrupt people very quickly and easily. Because this aura can mature faster than most other auras, people are confused on how to raise the indigo aura. The best advice I could give usually is, because they are so intelligent and fairly mature, just give them space to figure out what they want to do in life. Keep your promises. Be honest with them. Learn their trust. And the relationship goes much more smoothly. Some sources have told me that this aura had not been around, say, more than 40, 50 years ago. They seem to be a kind of new aura, the New Age aura. I can't confirm that. I can confirm that they do seem to have intelligence and emotional development far beyond most of us. But they don't seem to care about those things. They're not egotists. I have caught maybe one or two that are egotists, and I was quite surprised to find that they both had an indigo aura, but turned out to be just as nasty as any other egotist. But that was the very rare exception to the rule. More often than not, they're very, very kind people. They love to have a good time. They are patient with those people that they do trust, and so on. Though they do take a while to gain trust with an individual. Because they are holistic thinkers, but also can work with the logical linear thinking, when communicating with this particular aura, they may come at you with all kinds of ideas and conceptions at random order. They will throw out enough information until their listener can confirm that they understand what they're talking about. The other holistic aura being the one I put out earlier, the red tan aura. They seem to be on the same wavelength a lot of the time. I guess the biggest point about this aura is their very strong will. When they say no, they mean no. These auras do not like to be controlled by others. And it's not to be selfish. It just means that they've considered everything you have presented to them, and their conclusion is not going to match yours. Whether you're an adult, the same age, it doesn't matter. This is where a lot of people think them as egotists or selfish narcissists. Absolutely not the case at all. This aura doesn't try to achieve things through money either. So bribes and greed and all of those emotions have no meaning for them. They do things because they like to do things. That's what confuses a lot of people. They'll do a job for a certain amount of money because they like doing it. Even though their intellect is extremely high, they may end up doing something quite simple in life. I knew one indigo who was a graduate from a very famous university, and after university went off to play folk music in Europe somewhere. This is a typical pattern of this aura. They do what they want to do. They're not after an image. They're not after money. They are after learning what they came to learn and loving those they can love. So a lot of adults really have a hard time raising this particular aura because sometimes the child is more of an adult than the adult is. But once you figure that out, and each one can understand the other, then it becomes fun and moves much more smoothly. Of course, there are some parents who will naturally do this. So in today's society, it may seem to be rather barbaric the way people behave and lie and cheat, when this particular aura will never lie, will always tell the truth. Even if other people are offended by it, they don't care. The truth is the truth to them. All the negative emotions in today's society really don't affect this aura so much. Things like guilt. You should do this because if you don't, you're a bad person kind of thing has absolutely no meaning for them. They'll just ignore you or tell you that you're full of it. This aura, it tends to be very unemotional at times, in the sense they don't really go around expressing their emotions. So it can be at times difficult to understand what they want or need. At those times you just politely ask and they'll respond. Because they don't adjust their personality to fit society, they can get lonely. They don't create tons of friends. They have a few close friends, very much like the lavender does. In fact, a lavender and a few other auras generally instinctively understand this aura. So they're more willing to open up to people who understand them at that level. The other more physical or more demanding auras don't do well with this aura. Auras that can be friends first, that understand the relationship soul to soul, will do much better with this aura. Physical relationships in other words, deeper spiritual relationships will do better with this aura. That doesn't mean they won't be physical. Of course they can be physical. They just prefer that if they do get physical with another person, that it's at a much deeper, more spiritual, more meaningful level. Just physical pleasure in itself has little meaning for them. So to wrap it up, this aura tends to do what it likes to do. They will find a job that they like doing, and money is not the motivation. And they don't really do well with money anyways. They don't like to be leaders so much because they much prefer people choosing their own path, and they're not here to interfere with that. And they're finding at least someone in their life that they can relate to, as well as that individual being connected to the society we have today, for a sense of security and understanding. But for this video, that will do it. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments section below. If you're interested in supporting this channel, please take a look at getting counseling by contacting me, or buy one of the children's books that I make, or perhaps some artwork that I do. Details are listed below. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you soon.